Happy Haunt Road Trip Saturday, everybody. We are in Boca Raton, Florida. Behind me here is Enigma Haunt. We're on site today to enjoy the haunt and beforehand get a little behind the scenes tour, as well as perhaps talk to some of the folks behind the event. Let's go check it out.
Are you lost this season? Well, come find us at Enigma Haunt. We'll help you through the dark woods if we can, but be warned, there's evil afoot. Well, I must be off. We're here all October. Come find me.
We're backstage. This is the blood room where people get sprayed with blood. We've got makeup happening here. Everyone is hard at work with an hour to go before showtime. All right, we're here with Karen Groneveld from Enigma Haunt. You started this 17 years ago?
Well, Enigma Haunt started in 2012. We started a home haunt in 2000, I think.
Okay.
And it just started out as like a little alien autopsy in the garage, and we have 4 children, so they kind of started wanting to scare people, and they stopped trick-or-treating. And then next year it got a little bit bigger, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger until we had probably like 1,000 people come through our house. And my husband started drilling into the banister, and I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. So that's when we started Enigma Haunt. We wanted to go professional and let everybody else enjoy what we do for the passion of it. Yeah, we started, I think, with just Realms of Terror upstairs with about 30 actors.
Okay.
And we've grown from just 1 attraction to 3 attractions. We have over 100 actors, full staff, security, all that good stuff.
And it's about 20,000 square feet.
About 20,000 square feet, yes.
So it's huge. We walked through with lights on before. We can't show you guys, but it was absolutely stunning, set design wise. It's something to me that rivals the bigger park haunts.
Yes.
That it's just unbelievable to see. And
yes, if there's one thing that we take a lot of pride in is the detail. Yes, we love the detail. We have an awesome crew that does that, yes.
what are now you mentioned there's 3 haunts. We walked through the 3. What are the 3 haunts?
So now we have Curse this year, which is new. We have Twisted Mayhem this year, which is new. Last year we had both of these haunts, but we changed them into different types.
Okay.
So we've had 3 haunts for I think 4 years now, but we try and change it up every year, just so people that have been coming since year 1 get something different every year.
Okay.
Realms of Terror will always be the same name, but we do that. I don't know if you realized it, but you walk through like claustrophobic tubes.
Sure.
They weren't blown up.
Yep.
But so that gives us a chance, because that is the biggest haunt up there, Realms of Terror, but it gives us a chance to, every time you walk through a claustrophobic tube, you're going through a different dimension. So it
Okay.
gives us a chance to change all the themes in that. So I think we have like 5 themes up there.
Okay. And now you're open 17 days this year, right?
In 17 days.
Okay, so you guys can go to the website that we'll link below and check the dates. What types of crowds are you expecting?
Oh, we get all kinds of, so many. We get ages from 13 to 65, 70, yeah, but teenagers,
Okay.
drunk people.
There is a bar next door.
There is a bar next door, which everybody has to go do their liquid purge first, and yes, but intensity is definitely our thing.
And then I think the unique thing that we see, at least I haven't been through the house yet, but reading up on Enigma, we noticed that there's recurring characters. So you've had some notable characters make return appearances every year.
We do. We have icon characters, and those are characters that usually stay the same in the haunt, and we take them out to events, and they've got their own Facebook pages that you can follow, and
Okay.
so yeah, we like.
That's cool.
Yes.
And tickets are available now. You can buy them online, and a portion of the online sales, which I thought were really cool, are going to a charity.
Don't Be a Monster.
Don't Be a
October
Monster.
is anti-bullying month. So we donate a portion of our online sales to Don't Be a Monster anti-bullying campaign.
Which is awesome. So we're going to check this out in a little bit. We're going to tell you how the experience was. And just based on set design alone, I'm already kind of terrified about some of the rooms that are down here. So this is going to be awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi! I'm Dr. Grant. We're here again. The portals are back open. I want you to come see me. I have a whole wonderful lab full of things to show you. It's going to be so much fun.
All right, we've had our tour. We've had our interview. Now we're going to go through. We just got out of Enigma Haunt. Whew. That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. I'm gonna need a minute to have to process all of this stuff. All right, a couple quick thoughts before we go home and we get into a little bit more detail. What did you think?
I thought it was awesome. A lot of good scares.
Tons of scares.
Yes.
Tons of amazing set design.
Oh my
and
God.
Some of the last house was just absolutely amazing. Like just continually going on and on and on.
The smells, yeah, that's the thing, is it just feels like it's never going to end. And that's where it's the scary part, where you sit there, you go, oh my God, what's next, what's next, what's next? And it never ends. But the smells in that area, oh my God, it was so gross. It was so gross. So much awesomeness. We're going to talk a little bit more in detail right after this. Hey, we're back home. Enigma. Awesome. We had a great time out at Enigma. It was a lot of fun.
I think, as far as comparing Enigma to some of the other local haunts or smaller haunts that we've been to, it was right at the top of the list.
Oh yeah, it was really well done.
I think there was so much attention to detail in each of the 3 houses that we went through. So again, there's 3 houses that they have at Enigma. One is Cursed, which is kind of like witchcraft and black magic. The house started with kind of like a narrator, witch doctor type person narrating and telling you what to expect in the house, and went from there. The second house was Twisted Mayhem, which was clowns. Very well done clowns. So it was kind of a different atmosphere. Instead of just like 3D house type clowns, this was a little bit more in like
a carnival
type setting.
Yeah, setting.
And like kind of like a very evil carnival setting.
And it wasn't pulsed like scares. They actually scared you when you came through.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to touch on. It's a great point. Not only the houses, at least each of the attractions within Enigma that we went through, you were sent through with just, either a smaller group of 2 or 4, and, we went with the 2 of us and a couple of friends, and it really not only added to the scares, but more so, instead of just conga line type activity and that we get in a lot of these haunted houses, there was a lot of interactivity. So especially like in that clown house, for sure, the Twisted Mayhem, a lot of interactivity. These scare actors are not just hitting a trigger button and popping out and scaring you. They're
actually walking through with you.
Yeah, and if they know that they've gotten you, they're gonna follow you, because there's a good chunk of time between the groups that they're letting in. And we had a couple of new friends follow us throughout the
and
different
plus
houses.
Some of the scare spots, they have back doors to when you turn the corner and they come out again, and so it's pretty cool.
So the other house was Realms of Terror, and that is kind of like I guess the best way to put it, like different dimensions. So there's different types of haunt scenarios throughout the house. It started with kind of like a fairy tale type setting. They had this amazing frosty area, which was kind of like Christmas.
Oh my God!
I love a dark Christmas, and this was awesome.
Yes.
So the gentleman that we saw putting on the makeup, in the behind the scenes at the beginning of the video. He was more than happy to see us when we came through in full garb and lights out. They also have kind of like an insane asylum. So the doctor that we saw at the beginning of the video, they play big roles in the house. So these, you know, when we're thinking scare actors, I mean, there's a lot of improv and other stuff that's happening. So it's more, you know, kind of a really well-rounded haunted experience outside of the fact that there's a lot of scares that happen. And in each of these attractions, you know, you had double scares at some times. We saw some innovative scares, and I don't want to give too much away, but there was stuff that we saw in Enigma that we did not see before at other haunts.
No.
Really well done.
I jumped a bunch of times.
Yeah. And Cursed, it's some of the pathways are a little bit more narrow than I think you normally might see at some places. And there's one forced room kind of with like a spirit reader. I don't know what to call that.
It was a seance.
Seance type area, and you know, you're distracted by one thing, and there is a hell of a scare in that room that pops out at you. So I loved it.
I know, I loved it too.
You know,
I was walking right past, and I was like, I had to turn around. That was awesome.
I actually feel bad that this was our first time there, because it was so well done. I have to say, you know, we're so used to going, and we have so many fans of the Cheap Seats channel that follow us, you know, for like horror nights and even for like Howl-O-Scream or some of these theme park things, that not only the attention to detail in the sets, but the makeup and the costumes that Enigma used, I'd put up there with the ranks of like a Horror Nights. There's some really professional, superb looking stuff. I mean, it was great. It's hard to not want to stop and stare at everything because it looks so awesome. And you just figure, you know, we've gone to so many local haunts where, I mean, you know, it's not even the same level. I mean, and I have to be honest, like even when we go to Howl-O-Scream, the stuff that we saw at Enigma, it just blew it away. Yeah. It was like night and day difference between the level of detail to costumes and makeup and interactivity and the level of the scare actors compared to a much bigger place like Howl-O-Scream. Yep. And I think, you know, the scares, I mean, so through Enigma, for us to go through all three places, I'd say probably took us like 35-40 minutes.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
I mean, so you may think that that's quick for some. I mean, the Realms of Terror was certainly the longest house of them all. Because
there's 5 areas.
Yeah, you know. That was really awesome. It was very long, and after a while you start thinking, like, you know, there were points where things started to get so scary that,
am I ever getting out of here?
Yeah, it's not like are we going to be able to leave. So it's not a scare zone type place like you see at a theme park and things like that. We missed that. I know that there's roaming characters that they have in line when you're waiting in the general area line. But overall, I'd say, you know, I couldn't stop raving last night about it.
Oh, yeah. And they do incorporate smells in the house.
Oh, yeah. Some of them...
Yeah.
maybe not as pleasant.
Yep, yep.
But I loved it. I love it. We will definitely be back, and we'll have to make that an annual trip.
Oh, yeah. That'll be definitely an annual trip.
I'd highly recommend. And I know, once again, you know, sometimes we get these comments like, you know, you should film in houses, etc. We were not able to film in the house, whether it was the lights on stuff, which was a treat to see, by the way, because you could see so much detail in the light with the lights on, or in the dark, which is, in my opinion, good because it's not giving anything away. You would really want to experience this for yourself, and I couldn't recommend it enough to see for yourself. But having said that, there is a video that we're going to incorporate here, because we're going to roll it in a second, that Enigma has put out. And for all of the videos that we've seen some haunts do, this is the truest form of what you're going to see when you visit Enigma. I hope you guys do visit, because they're open throughout October.
This October, voted #1 must-see haunted house in Florida. Three terrifying houses. Cursed, twisted mayhem, realms of terror. Enigma Haunt will make you yourself.
So on that note, we are going to say goodnight. Good night. Thank you very much for coming along with us. Thank you very much for all of your likes and your comments and your subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great night. We'll see you guys.